The goal of this webinar is to give you an overview on the funding opportunities within the Health Work Programme of Horizon, and the presenter of this webinar are Ms. Agnes Severini, Scientific Advisor Health. She will present the second half of this webinar, and myself, Sascha Huget-Dobler, the National Contact Point for Health Demographic Change and Wellbeing. We are both working at Euresearch. Euresearch is your Swiss guide to European research and innovation. We are funded by the State Secretariat for Education, Research and Innovation, and we are here to provide targeted information, hands-on advice, and transnational partnering related to European research and innovation programs. What this really translates to is that you can contact us with any questions regarding Horizon, and we will try to find an answer for you and support you and advise you. It's not just us, it's a whole network. Euresearch is an entire network made up of 10 offices in the regions. There is an office in each of your region. There you can contact the people. They're experts in the overview of the entire Horizon program. So in other words, they are the generalists that can tell you which program of the many different programs is advisable for you or fits you, and what are the rules that you may need to know. They can further give you detailed information on administrative, legal, financial questions that you may have and that you need to know in order to prepare a proposal. Then, in addition to the offices in the regions, you have the network office. Here there is 1 to 2 people per program of Horizon, the so-called national contact points. And then in addition to this, we have Swisscore. This is the office in Brussels. They have the contacts to the European Commission. They provide a meeting space for anyone planning a proposal working in Switzerland, and they have always the latest information on what's going on Horizon and on the future European research and innovation programs. Euresearch offers many services to you, all free of charge. We organize events, webinars like this one. We inform, we connect, we co-organize partnering events with the European Commission and with other countries to facilitate partner search and consortium building. And we advise you. We advise you for project ideas. We advise you when you write your proposal. We can even read your proposal and give you feedback if you wish so. And that's where the national contact points come in. We are nominated by our governments. For every country in Europe, there is national contact points for each program of Horizon. And we are here to provide specialist advice on research funding opportunities in a specific program. Today we are talking about the Health Societal Challenge and Wellbeing program. We ensure that the program is readily accessible to all potential applicants, including we answer your questions. We support you if you don't understand the program or if you have specific questions. We participate regularly at trainings, workshops organized by the European Commission, and as already mentioned, we organize the partnering events for the European Commission most of the time in Brussels. Some specific services that we offer is the so-called applicant training that Agnes Severini will give you more information on. We provide a topic preview, which is a summary of the health call with all the open funding opportunities. Again, in the second part of the presentation, Agnes Severini will go into more detail of that. Then we provide templates for idea check, proposal submission checklist, and on clinical trials. And we also have a fact sheet on proposal and consortium advice. And as mentioned, we can look at your proposal and give you feedback if you wish so. You can contact us via health@euresearch.ch. But now this is enough of us. Now we come to you. Thank you for your attention and for your participation at this webinar. Why are you here and why are you interested to participate in Horizon 2020? You may want to finance an idea or a project. You may want to keep researchers in your institute or hire new ones or enlarge your team. and you may want to improve or to strengthen collaboration in international networks. These are all very valid reasons to be interested in European Horizon projects and to set up such proposals and projects. However, whatever your reason is, it is advisable to understand what are the expectations of the European Commission and what are the objectives, the overall objectives of this Horizon 2020 program, as this is the largest public funding program in the world and it has a clear goal to strengthen Europe as a competitor on a global level and to boost jobs, growth and investment of the European economy or of particular countries in Europe. In this wording, we are involved and we are included because Switzerland is an associated country. So whenever projects can argue that they have an effect on the sustainability of jobs or on the creation of jobs or on investment in the market, then this is an added value of a project. The same if the competitive advantage of Europe or of a technology that is more known in Europe can be emphasized and justified. So now we come to the Horizon program. I said this is the largest program. It includes over 80 billion euros that are available for funding in research in all different fields. Today we are talking about funding for health research, and we are specifically talking about the societal challenge health. But in case you will, in the next few slides during this webinar, not find the research fields where you are active being funded in the next 3 years, this is possible because it's a top-down process and it's predefined which research fields can apply for funding. Should you not find for your field funding in the health call, do not think that Horizon is not for you. There is many other programs. They're all red here on the slides. They offer funding opportunities in the widest sense of health research. So we have in the middle pillar, we have the so-called NMVP. There, the program funds nanotechnology, nanomedicine, and red biotechnology. Then there is a bottom-up program. There's bottom-up programs where you set the field of research. This is the case for innovation in SMEs, Marie Skłodowska-Curie, and the European Research Council, and in a less extent, so in FET. Then we also, on the right pillar, below the health program, we have the food, the climate, and the inclusive societies. All these, in the widest sense, have also topics that could be of interest to the health research community. But today we talk about the societal challenge health, which is the largest one, and just a word on that. First of all, why is it called societal challenge? The reason is that every single proposal, every single project that will be funded has, in the widest sense, to justify that it tackles global and societal challenges and concerns of citizens or the society or of patients in our sense. And in that way address political priorities of the European Union. So some of you listening that are from research may think this is far-stretched and this is not relevant to you. But just to show on a practical example, let's say some of you are working on diabetes or arthritis, anything on genes, on cell technologies within these fields. You may be surprised, but you can make the link that you address a global or a European problem that the European Union even has put political priorities onto. Because we do know that the aging population in Europe is growing. With this, the burden on chronic diseases such as diabetes and arthritis is growing. And what that really means, we all know the public spending on health will increase extensively. This is a big problem for Europe, and Europe tries to tackle it by funding research that should reduce the financial burden and the pain on chronic diseases and try to make the aging population in Europe be able to live longer independently at home. So you see there is a bridge from any research field into the political aspect, and if you find this struggling, then we are here to support you. This is also important because one of the 3 evaluation criteria, and we will go into detail a bit later, is how a proposal has an effect on the Europe, or has how well it provides a solution to Europe for the European society, the European consumers, or the European patients. So as you see, this is relevant for all research projects. This was the overall objective of this program. Now, just a quick word on the participation. These projects are all collaborative research and innovation projects, meaning that in minimum 3 members from 3 different EU member states or EU associated countries collaborate together, prepare a proposal together, submit it together, and if successful, form the consortium that carries out the project within 3, 4, 5 years. This means that you always need 3 members from 3 different countries. But in general, proposal consortia are bigger. They can have 7, 8, 9 consortium partners. SMEs are especially welcome to participate because you may remember one of the first slides where I said that one major objective is to boost the European economy. And of course, small, medium enterprises can justify and show this in a very, very realistic term. One aspect that's quite special for the Health Societal Challenge, Health Demographic Change and Wellbeing program, which is unique, which is not applicable to any other Horizon program, is that you can bring your US colleagues that you may want to work with. You can bring them into the consortium, they can participate, and they get funding from the European Union. Partners from all over the world can participate. This Horizon program, here any country is eligible. However, the highly industrialized countries are normally not eligible for funding, but the US partners are eligible for funding. And they're the most frequent partners from outside Europe in the health program. Now we come to this health work program. Why predefined topics? The basic rule is that throughout 2 to 3 years, there is many discussions together with the European Commission, researchers, scientists from all over the world. Some of you may have been involved in these workshops where the European Commission has identified the problems or challenges they want to target. And they are being translated into topics. If there is a topic in the work program where your research expertise fits, you provide together with your international consortium of experts the best solution to the identified problem which is defined in the topic. Which means you can only submit a proposal to a challenge in an open call. At present, there is over 60 topics, so as I said, problems that are available to submit proposals. So the work program is this formal document from the European Commission that sets out research objectives and topics. But it's very much top-down. It doesn't just set the topics, it also gives the time frame for submission of proposals, the so-called deadlines. The first deadline is in February 2018. The next ones are in April, and then we have some in the autumn time. So this is not really that much time to prepare a proposal. Today, if you are interested in a topic, start planning now. The work program also indicates the budget, how much budget is available for each topic. The funding limits are not limits as such, but they give an indication how much the proposal should cost, how much is being expected that you need to solve the predefined topic problem. The evaluation procedure is defined, and in a way the composition of the consortia, which experts you need in the consortia, is given in the topic text. One word on the funding, because the funding is of very nice interest, because the funding rate is 100% for the research and innovation actions. They last on average 36 to 48 months, and the funding is for basic applied research, technology development and integration, testing and validation on a small-scale prototype in a lab or simulated environment. Most of the topics that we are going to look at are these so-called RIA, Research and Innovation Actions. We have some innovation actions. They are closer to the market. They are closer to make a benefit and a profit. And that's why for companies, the reimbursement, the funding rate is only 70%. And then this work program that is launched just a few weeks back has a lot of coordination and support actions, CSAs. And just be informed that they do not fund research activities. CSAs are really to accompanying measures such as dissemination, awareness raising, networking, policy dialogues, and standardization measures. No research funding is available there. It's more to set up a network. One more word before we go to the topics is on what criteria are these projects being evaluated? I mentioned already that the impact is one of the evaluation criteria out of 3, and you need to reach a threshold in all 3 of them. The first one we are all familiar with is the excellence, the scientific and technological excellence, which shows that your project idea has a groundbreaking nature, has a high level of ambition, goes beyond the state of the art, has a novel approach, and in addition addresses the challenge, the topic description. Then we have the impact. That's very often more, there is a higher difficulty to really get a good score in the impact. The impact is the non-scientific impact. It's the social impact, the economical impact, the environmental impact. They are listed in the work program under the relevant topic, and you have to address how you ensure that you fulfill these requirements. The third evaluation criteria then is the quality and efficiency of implementation, which means it's being looked at how the project, how the work plan is set up and how the different partners work with one another and how the consortium as a whole is organized. More to that to a later stage, you can always contact us. Now we come to the open health calls. It's nearly 1.5 billion euros, and this health call 2018 to 2020 is split into 3 calls just by research field. The first one is better health and care, economic growth, and sustainable health systems. There is 5 main priorities with 32 topics. We look at all these topics now in a minute. The second and the third call is being presented in the second part of the webinar by Agnes Severini. She's specialized on ICT health, and that's why she's presenting digital transformation in health and care and trusted digital solutions and cybersecurity in health and care. First call, these 5 priorities that I just mentioned are personalized medicine, innovative health and care industry, infectious diseases and improving global health, innovative health and care systems, the integration of care, decoding the role of the environment for health and well-being. To show this in a more graphic way that it's hopefully easier to keep in mind is you can see on these 7 bubbles the many different areas that are covered in the health call. You can see in the bottom line the digital transformation and the trusted digital and cybersecurity, and the other green bubbles are making up the first call: personalized medicine, innovative health and care, infectious diseases, improving global health, innovative health and care systems, the integration of care, and last and not least, decoding the role of the environment for health and well-being. So the way we decided to present you all these 65 topics are, we are going to give you an overview for each of these bubbles or for each of these priorities, what is being covered, just to give you some of the keywords. And then we give you an example, and the last few slides are just a list of topics which we will not go into detail, but you can reference to it and you find all the relevant information you need. So, personalized medicine, there the main goal is really from bench to bed of patient, meaning that the data that has been elaborated, the results that have been found in the lab should be of direct benefit to the patient. They're all covered in many different areas, understanding diseases and disorders. There, the diseases and the disorders are not specified. You choose which disease or which disorder you're working with. The same goes for prevention of diseases, the improved diagnosis and diagnostics that can be developed, the development of new therapies, of combinatorial therapies. Then there is one specific call on human data storage of data, which is in collaboration with Canada. If any one of you works with Canada, have a look at that topic in specific, and if you work with human data storage. And overall personalized medicine. As an example, we have here the understanding causative mechanisms in co- and multimorbidities. This is a topic where the European Commission expects that it should cost about 4 to 6 million euros if your project will fulfill all the requirements that are spelled out in the topic text in the official work program. The deadline, the first deadline is in October 2018, so you have quite time. And then there is an evaluation and only a few proposals are being invited into the second stage. The second stage guarantees that there is a success rate of 30 to 40%. Under this topic, what is the main goal? Back to the main goal of the personalized medicine priority from bench to bed. It involves clinical research, the use of clinical data, and the goal is to improve prevention and diagnosis. Specifically, it's improve management of patients with multiple coexisting diseases, to better understand their causative mechanism and what is needed to develop early diagnosis, prevention and monitoring, and better treatments. So the main objective of this topic is the causative mechanisms on a molecular or genetic or correlative or drug-drug interaction, and to really benefit the patients with multiple coexisting diseases. As you see, the diseases are not specified, so it's up to you which ones you choose. I said at the end of each priority, we provide you a list of topics. Here you can see the entire list of the topics on the personalized medicine, the title, the deadline, and what it's about. This is just for reference. This slide is the other four. You can see these ones. There's a research and innovation action, and then we have 3 coordination and support actions. They're all available on the so-called topic preview, which Agnes Severini will present to you and which we can send in the follow-up mail that you have all the topics. Next priority is the innovation, health and care industry. They're the main fields that are receiving funding the next 3 years are regenerative medicine, the efficacy and regulatory science of technologies, safety testing of new technologies, turning innovative knowledge and technologies into practical applications, and innovative diagnostics and therapeutics. As an example here, the PHC09, Innovative Platforms for Advanced Therapies of the Future. Deadline is next April. This is a large project of 12 to 15 million euros, and what's being expected is to create knowledge, testing and exploitation platforms around innovative concepts for advanced therapies. Advanced therapies then in the topics text are further specified as gene delivery, immunogenicity, cell tracking, tissue engineering. Technological progress in advanced therapy fields is expected. The important discoveries made in molecular cell biology and cell technologies should be used to offer opportunities for advanced therapies. So these platforms, it's expected that a platform is being built that brings together all these important discoveries and works with that knowledge. Here again, the list. You see many in the innovative health and care industry, many different topics. Therefore, your reference and the topic preview has the same information. In addition, a summary of the scope and what is being expected that the topic fulfills. So have a look at that document in the follow-up mail. We come to a very large area. It's the infectious diseases and improving global health. You hear in the name global. So here the goal is really to work on a global level not just Europe, to really work on a global level, whoever is where these topics are of relevance. There's the maternal and child health. There's the population and patient cohorts, which says that cohorts from all over the world should be brought together, that there's a lot of data available to work on. Then there's the global brain research. Then infectious diseases, earlier detection, improved prevention and treatment. Prevention and management of hypertension and/or diabetes on a global level. Cancer research between Europe and Latin America and the Caribbean states. For this topic, you need to have partners from these countries outside Europe on board. And then there is a specific topic together with Russia, where Russian scientists have to collaborate in the project. It's on HIV, TB, and hepatitis in patients in collaborations with Russia. This is the only priority in the entire health call that really specifies which diseases should be tackled. As an example, we have the stratified host-directed approach to improve prevention, treatment, and/or cure of infectious diseases. It's a two-stage call with the first deadline is in October. The EC contribution is between 6 and 10 million euros. The goal is to increase Europe's capacity to control infectious diseases. And what's really looked at, the project should develop new products with potentially more effective, more targeted treatments or more preventative measures, and the uptake into clinical practice. That's the overall reaching goal, again, bed to patient. Here it's really to tackle pathogen resistance, to work out on the possible reasons of why no immune response was provoked, drug mightn't reach the pathogen, and each individual patient has a different response. So really the goal is to develop novel therapies or prevention approaches on the basis of specific factors identified in the host or the host pathogen interaction. The focus is on late preclinical and or clinical research is further described in the topic. The topic texts are way longer and way more specific. We summarize this here just for you to get an impression what is being expected, but really by no means you can't start working on this information on building the consortium. You need to read the entire topic text in order to see which experts you need and what all the requirements are that are expected to be covered. So here the infectious diseases and improving global health. Here are the topics. And one comment that I haven't mentioned yet, you see the second topic is 2020. This means that this topic will be launched in 2019 and will have a deadline in 2020. When you read the work program, the entire document explaining every topic in detail, you will realize that you will not find much information on these 2020 topics because they are not finished being defined yet. The next area is innovative health and care systems, the integration of care. Here the care is in the focus, the healthcare management of the elderly, of the aging population, the management of chronic diseases, the end of life care, palliative care, the development of health technology assessment methods, and the development of new and advanced therapies in care. Here just one on the end of life care. The topic end of life care is on palliative care. The goal is to the reason for this topic is that there is many interventions in the end of life care in use, but not validated or adapted to the specific needs of patients. And therefore there is a need to strengthen the evidence base for available effective interventions. This can be on a pharmacological and non-pharmacological intervention to relieve, for example, symptoms such as pain. It's not only palliative care, it can be also the effect of long-term side effects in survivors. Clinical trials or observational studies are desired to be covered in this topic. That's the second topic on this slide out of the 4 that are on this slide under integration of care. And there is another 2, the health technology assessment. Decoding the role of the environment for health and well-being. The overall objective here is to look at the effect of the environment or the climate on health and well-being. Well-being in urban areas, new testing and screening methods to identify endocrine disrupting chemicals, the impact of the environment on health, disease threats driven by climate, and mental health in the workplace. The topic that I would like to point out is the new testing and screening methods to identify endocrine disrupting chemicals. Deadline is in April. It's a single stage, 4 to 6 million euros. The aim is that the development of new tools, methods, or models to improve and harmonize screening and testing protocols for risks and hazards assessment. Enhanced international cooperation, that means global cooperation, and support of the OECD work on testing and assessing chemicals for endocrine disrupting activity. The focus should also be on the regulatory needs. You have the topics of this area here. There's 2 research and innovation action, a coordination action where there is no funding available for research, and a 2020 topic that has not been fully defined yet. So please come back to us if you want to understand or if you are not quite sure whether the whole topic text is what you cover or whether you understand what our expectations are. Now I welcome Agnes Sabrini. She is presenting you the second and the third call. Thank you, Agnes, and I give the word to you.
Thank you very much, Sasha. Hello, everyone, also from me. As Sasha said, my name is Agnes Sabrini. I work as a scientific advisor, health and ICT, and now I'm going to present you, without further ado, I go on with the 2 ICT-related calls. The first is the digital transformation in healthcare. This is, as Sasha already mentioned, this includes 13 topics within this call, and this includes the ones in 2020 that have not been finalized yet. The total budget of this call is, for the 18-19 topics that we know, is about 200 million euros, and we don't know yet the figures for 2020. This call is relevant to the Commission priorities, a new boost for jobs, growth and investment, and as well the connected digital single market, the European Cloud Initiative, and the European Free Flow of Data Initiative. These policy drivers, just to give you a reference, are all linked on this slide, so you can have a look at it, especially if you identify a topic within this call that gives you a good reference starting preparing your proposal. So, as I mentioned, this call is basically focusing on empowering participation of citizens. A more digitized, person-centered, community-based care models includes ICT for active and healthy aging. It also, the purpose of this call, the topics in this call, is to give better access to healthcare and sustainability of health and care systems, and this is where e-health and m-health are included. Just to give you an idea what topics are included in this call: the big data for monitoring health status after cancer, personalized early risk prediction, prevention and intervention, and in silico medicine research for personalized diagnostic and therapies in cloud-based environment, as well as personalized outcome-based integrated care. I'm also giving you an example, as Sasha did for the priorities before. So a topic, just to give you an idea what is included here: big data and artificial intelligence for monitoring health status and quality of life after the cancer treatment. The deadline for this topic is April 2019, and the contribution is 3 to 5 million euros. The purpose of this topic, well, it's just to give you an idea. The proposal should focus on deliver how to better acquire, manage, share, model, process, and exploit big data using high-performance computing to effectively monitor health status of individual patients. And of course, the focus is to improve the quality of life after the cancer treatment. I would like just to highlight that if you find something very interesting that fits your topic, just have a look at the expected impact, because you have to target all the bullet points in the expected impact, under the expected impact. Just to give you the list of the topics here, I'm just going to browse through so that we have quite time for your questions as well. And moving on to the third call, which is trusted digital solutions and cybersecurity. This call, under this call, there are 3 topics for about 90 million euros. And this call aims at multidisciplinary technologies and solutions to assure data privacy, security, and protection of healthcare infrastructures. Focusing on assuring data privacy, security, and as I said, the protection of the health and care infrastructures, which is especially in hospitals is very relevant. It addresses the need for secure and user-driven ICT-based solutions in early risk detection and intervention with big data approaches, and using new and existing data sources such as medical records, registries, social platforms, and other environmental, psychological, and behavioral data. This call includes data from large-scale pilots on smart living environment as well. The policy drivers behind this call is the connected digital single market. As for the previous call, the big data in healthcare, that you can find plenty of resources on it, and the European Data Protection Regulation. Just to give you an idea, this call will contribute to the focus areas on digitizing and transforming European industry and services, as well as boosting the effectiveness of the security union. As I mentioned already, the aggregation of new and existing data sources is especially relevant. So topics here include smart hospitals of the future, digital security and privacy, safe and smart health living at home, cybersecurity in hospitals, and cyber threats, as I already mentioned. Without going into further details in here, I'm showing you the calls. Of course, this includes the 2020 calls as well, which we don't know much about at the moment. So this was the short introduction, just to give you an overview. We hope that we have given you a good overview of what is available in the 18, 19, and 2020 work program. Let us remind you that the 2020 topics have not been finalized. Around mid next year, we should know more about. So what is the next step? Did you identify a topic that, based on the title, is relevant for your research? If so, then you can go to our website and you can download what Sasha already mentioned, a so-called topic preview, which we are also going to link in from the event, from this webinar event page, so you can have a look at it. The aim of this document is to give you a more detailed look into what is within scope of the selected topic and the expected impact. It's not the full topic text. It's really, because the work program is over 200 pages, it's just this topic preview. It aims to give you a brief overview and to see if you still fit within what is expected. If you fit the topic description, then the next step is to go in full detail of the topic text and either download the work program which you can find under this link, or go to the participant portal, which is basically your first entry point if you want to submit a proposal, if you are just thinking about submitting a proposal, because all the required information you need to know on the scope, on the specific challenge, on the expected impact, on the eligibility criteria, rules, evaluation, everything is on the participant portal. So then you can go and select the call that is relevant for you, and then you select the topic, and then you can see all the relevant information to this topic. We at Euresearch are here to help you if you want to know more, or you just want to know if your idea fits within the topic. So contact either us or the Euresearch office in your region. You can find the details here on this slide. As Sasha mentioned, if you have an idea and you would like to have your idea checked, contact us. We're happy to provide feedback. Don't forget that preparation is the key. The first deadlines are in February, but then, or just in April, just in a quotation mark, because it's still very, very close. So the consortia are already forming. Don't forget it. So they can get informed about upcoming events, partnering events, or call openings. And you can register to our e-alerts that you can find the link here at the bottom of this slide. And basically, you can profile yourself with carefully selecting the keywords and customize the e-alerts only relevant to your field, so you don't get spammed with all the e-alerts unrelevant to you. If you are planning on submitting a proposal, either as a coordinator or a partner, we invite you to come to the annual health applicant training, which this year is going to be organized in Zurich, thanks to our EU Grant Success colleagues. At this event, you can learn about, you can get targeted information and advice for planning and writing a proposal. The target audience of this event, applicants in any role, let it be a task leader, a work package leader, or a coordinator, or a partner. The agenda consists of a talk by the head of unit of the European Commission to give you a background information context on the topics, a legal and financial administrative issue presentation where you can ask all the specific questions, what it entails to get involved in an EU project, financial reporting, all these very administrative, bureaucratic things. Another tips, a very useful presentation on tips how to write a good, successful proposal. And a panel discussion with evaluators and successful Swiss coordinators where you can ask all your questions to these successful coordinators and evaluators. You can get more insights with these, by these discussions and how to write a successful proposal. And at the end of the event, you can book a bilateral meeting to get either your idea checked or you get your questions answered on administrative details. You can find the registration on this link, euresearch.ch/health 2017. Please register. Registration is free. Now to give you an example of successful projects that were funded before by the European Commission, 2 Swiss coordinated projects we would like to present you. One is the biochip, which is the acronym of the project, and the full name is Taking the Lead to Treat Knee Cartilage with an Engineered Graft. It's a project that is currently running, coordinated by University of Basel, has 7 partners, running for 4 years, and having a budget of 5 million euros. It includes clinical research on regenerative medicine and aims to demonstrate the therapeutic efficacy of a new treatment for knee cartilage injuries. Another example is the OPERAM project, which is optimizing therapy to prevent avoidable hospital admissions in multimodality. It's coordinated by University of Bern. It has more than 8 partners running for 5 years for 5 million euros. It's a multi-center cluster randomized clinical trial is involved in this project. And then the purpose of the project is to optimize data concerning pharmacological and non-pharma therapy in the elderly. You can find more success stories, Swiss success stories on our website. The link is here, not just health, but in any other program as well. We encourage you to have a look at it to have an idea of what projects have been already funded. As a last point, we would like to mention a few tips regarding consortium building and joining. There are a couple of useful platforms where you can go and identify what and who has been funded previously. You can also get informed about partnering and brokerage events. So I'm just giving you an example how to use these platforms. First of all, you go to the project database, which is the CODIS project database for all the FP7 and Horizon 2020 projects that have ever been approved, granted by the Commission. This is a database for these projects. And then you type in keywords relevant to your field. Just to give you an example, I used the operam, so I typed in multimorbid elderly. And because it was a lot of results that I got, I tried to filter further, so I added operam just to give you targeted results. And then it gave me the consortium who was involved. As you see, University of Bern is coordinating this project, and then the list of participants. Then I go to the participant portal and look for University of Bern, and I would like to see the profile of the institute and the keywords. But the keywords are on the right-hand side in this blue box, are taken based on successful granted projects. And basically in the proposal, you have to specify keywords in here. And these keywords are coming and visualized on this summary abstract. And there is a very nice visualization as well, where you can also see the link of University of Bern to other organizations. And then, of course, there is a list of projects on the right bottom side that you can see that Bern has been involved in. And of course, you can do the same thing for all the other institutes that have relevant projects relevant to your field, and you can have a look at it. You can see who else have been involved. Maybe you can identify, oh, I know this institute, so I can contact these people. You can also get the direct contact data for these people. This is it. Thank you for your attention also from my side. And now over to you and to your questions. Okay, so the evaluation procedure, basically you submit when you submit your proposal. Then there are the criteria that Sasha mentioned in her talk, the 3 evaluation criteria: the excellence, the impact, and the implementation. And then your proposal is then addressed, dedicated to the independent evaluators. In health, it's usually 3 to 5 independent evaluators, and then they are tasked to have a look at and give concrete examples and assess your project based on the criteria, which you can find. It's all public information, which you can find here on the slides. And then, of course, there is a slight difference if your project is a research innovation action or a coordination support action or an innovation action, but they're very, very similar criteria. And then this is when the independent expert come back with an evaluation summary report, and they submit it to a panel where they try to consolidate the evaluation summaries, and then they come up with a ranking. And then they go to a meeting in Brussels, and then they rank the proposals, and then see, of course, your project has to pass through the threshold to be considered eligible for funding. Sasha, would you like to add anything for this?
Thank you, Agnes. Just one comment. Thank you, Agnes. Just maybe one comment to what Agnes Severini just explained is we have many participants in this webinar. Maybe some of you have evaluated, have put your CV and your interest into the expert database on the participant portal. There is people from Switzerland every year in these evaluation panels that look at the proposals, score the proposals according to these 3 evaluation criteria, and participate at meetings in Brussels to discuss with the other evaluators on the scores of the individual proposals. What we do know is that evaluators, having done so, find it obviously easier afterwards to write a proposal because you have seen the whole procedure from both sides, from the side of an applicant and from the side of an expert. So anyone interested to find where to put your names down as evaluator and you can't find it on the participant portal, which has so many different links, then just contact us. We have no questions. Is any questions that you would like to ask now? If you don't, of course, you can always write us to health@Euresearch and we answer your questions then. Maybe we see some of you at the applicant training on the 14th of December. We would have another few minutes if there is any questions. There is a question coming in. Of course, you will receive the presentation, and together with the presentation, you will receive the topic preview. And we can also, yeah, you will have the link to the participant portal where the entire work program is on it.
And we're going to make the recording of the webinar available as well. They will all be sent out in the follow-up email, and they will all be linked into the event page.
That's a very good question. So do you mean that for topics that are in this work program, you are of the view that the consortia is already fully existing and there is no entrance for someone new into the consortia? I'm asking you this because the consortia are being formed since summer. So if you really show the... Yes, thank you. There will be several consortia per topic submitting proposals. Okay, either you are in contact with the people that have formed the consortia, do not need anyone with your expertise because they may have such a specialist already on board. Then you can try to find a competitor consortia, or as you say, you wait for FP9. FP9 is a long way away. It's being formed at the moment, but the first calls will be in 2020-2021. So I very much hope, and we will like to support you, that you get into a consortia before FP9. There's different ways of finding other coordinators that may submit competitor proposals. If you wish to discuss this further, please contact us. Maybe Agnes Seberini has another point on this? No.
Sasha covered everything.
You're welcome. I just have one more addition to that. If you do know that a consortia is submitting under the topic that you're interested in and they don't need your expertise within this consortia, this is a very valuable piece of information for you. If you try to find another coordinator, if you don't want to do that yourself, and find another consortium submitting under the same topic, you can guide the topic that the proposal to submit, that it complements whatever the competitor consortia already submits. You have information that you can use in the preparation. That's all from me. Any other questions?
Maybe a comment on the partnering, how to join a consortium. So if you identify a topic that is relevant to your field, but your field does not cover fully the full topic, then not all expected impacts you can alone. Of course, this is why they are collaborative projects. But you would not like to coordinate a project, then of course, well, we advise you to seek out and contact, like I mentioned, institutes already working in EU projects and trying to partner up. And what I would like to emphasize here that I haven't mentioned too much in detail is the brokerage events, that there is very There's a lot of opportunities. You can profile yourself. You can write down your skill, what you're specialized in, or even just have a look at and then who is available, and then contact them directly that would fit your research field, and then team up with them. Maybe they are already preparing a proposal or consortium, how you can join in with them. And then of course there's a service here at Euresearch that we can help you with, their partner search. So if you for example are looking for partners in either, well, not necessarily in Switzerland, but in outside, then we can send you the template. You can fill out what is the skill expertise you have to offer, what topics you are interested in, and then we can send it to our other national contact point colleagues in other countries, and then they can advertise and then try to help you form a consortium.
So if you have digested all the information we have provided in the last hour, and you realize that there is some points that you would like us to explain again, or that you have a question on, do not hesitate to ring or to email us. We are here, and we try to support you for any questions you may have for proposal submission. So we wish you the best of luck. And we hope to hear or see or read from you again. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much also from my side. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.